Okay, so this episode is Simple Ways, and it's about how Rarity is put in charge of a festival celebrating the founding of Ponyville. I actually like who gets to make this choice out of all the applicants. Granny Smith and two other judges, but yeah, Granny Smith, because she was there when it was founded, was part of the reason, if I remember that right. So, okay, they choose Rarity, and she, of course, she gets to oversee the whole thing, so she designs a very Rarity-esque festival with cider tasting and fashion shows and small town chic as the theme. So, okay, that's how she puts it anyway. I don't know if that's a thing, but whatever. So, all right, but then when she finds out that a certain journalist, I guess freelance journalist, is coming to review the whole thing, she really wants to impress him, not just because he's an important figure in the fashion world of Rarity number, who knows what we're on by now, but actually he's not just about fashion, he's about trends. But anyway, the real reason though is because she has a major crush on this guy. She's apparently followed his whole career. She has a shrine complete with a lock of his hair in it, which who knows how she got that. But okay, so she really wants to impress him, and then when he shows up to get the scoop, and of course she's in charge, she has to show him around. It seems like they're starting to get along pretty well, but then Applejack catches his eye, and so when Rarity sees this, she starts trying to reinvent herself as a hillbilly farm pony and redesigning the festival around that. Just anything she can to convince him that she's a farmhand or a farm hoove. This episode really likes puns like that involving hooves. But yeah, through and through. So then Applejack, when Rarity finally starts taking it too far, decides to take matters into her own hooves. But okay, so this is the episode right after the big celebrity appearance by Weird Al Yankovic in an episode that apparently everybody likes. It's called Simple Ways. It stars Rarity and Applejack, the two main characters with probably the worst track record, at least with me, outside of Spike. And so, yeah, how does it do? It's a great one. I mean, like, it was nothing. They go out here, they deliver a great episode without even anything really wrong with it. Like, this, technically, this may even be a better episode than the last one. But, okay, so, but yeah, just going through it one detail at a time. Yeah, the first scene is, they go to the reveal of who it's going to be, and they fit in some Pinkie Pie gags right off the bat, yeah, she is so excited, she takes a really deep breath, she inflates her head and floats away, and nobody comments on it. She's just floating there for the rest of the scene, and I mean, that's, okay, wow, just interesting touch of creativity there. And then right after Rarity's picked two Pinkie Pie, they're still weaving in just, yeah, sight gags and really fast-paced jab Pinkie Pie jumping up down. Oh, I'm so excited I can barely even stand up straight. Which, just, yeah, the sight gag. And actually, I mean, that's the thing. This episode is really funny, and I mean, that's, yeah, bold move to go for comedy after the last one, but part of, I guess, why I was really laughing at this episode from beginning to end, because it's a different sort of humor. Instead of just really big sight gags and over-the-top silliness, it's a much more clever sort of humor. I mean, there are over-the-top moments, but it's more of a subtle kind of humor. Like, instead of just trying to, yeah, overwhelm you with just these really creative and inventive and fun, silly drawings, it's like, just like, yeah, lines going by like, did you catch that? But, alright, so yeah, then, okay, Rarity unveiling the festival, unveiling her plans for the festival, and, then telling them about, Trenderhoof, this journalist, and, how she has a shrine to him, and Twilight, thinks she's gonna embarrass Rarity with this. It looks like some pony has a little bit of a crush, just a playful sort of, friendly jab, but, no, that's not far enough for Rarity. She's like, a crush? I am absolutely, what does she say? I absolutely adore him, or something like that. Like, and that's when everyone starts to kind of think that, okay, maybe this is a little too much. This may not be such a good thing. And yeah, we know Rarity does have a tendency to take things too far. And I mean, and yeah, the other part two of why I think it's so good is this humor, it uses the humor to acknowledge, among other things, it uses it to acknowledge where Rarity might be going over the top, where it's kind of silly, where it's a kind of laughable, but it also knows that it's in a very, this is something that actually happens. So okay, it's not just trying to make fun of it. It actually it uses the humor to sort of punctuate the effect here, just like how it is pretty silly. How, I mean, it is, yeah, this is how what it's like when this happens. I mean, it is sad from the character's perspective, but okay, from the outside looking in, it is kind of silly that, yeah, they were actually expecting it to turn out any different. But, you know, it still doesn't forget the first part of that, that it's sad from the character's perspective, and it doesn't just have Rarity say lines that were like written just to cue the audience to laugh at her. It actually sort of thinks about, okay, what would Rarity say here? Like when she goes to the train station with Twilight to meet this guy, to, well, meet up with him, I mean, to show him around and everything, she's hiding behind her, going on about how she's too scared and getting excited for him at the same time. But and part of this is the voice actress's delivery here, but just the way she says it, the way she gets really excited, it feels very distinctly Rarity. It's just yeah, it's not like they're just playing up how shy she is or how caught up in this she is. You know, they actually, there's sort of a variety to it. The tone in which she says it, it feels like how somebody, well, at least more like how somebody who is in that situation and is really nervous actually would say it. And yeah, like they're trying to get in the game and they're scared at the same time. And then when she talks to him too, instead of just being like overly tongue-tied and fainting at everything he said, they do use that gag eventually. She faints at something he says, but, you know, first she tries to compose herself and talk to him, and she doesn't do a half-bad job. You know, she's Rarity, she's good at being very professional, so, okay, it's like, it just feels a little fresher, a little more genuine, because, I mean, this plot, you would think it would sound very familiar, very well-worn, but, I mean, that's, it sort of takes me back to the first couple of seasons where I was saying this, just, yeah, it finds ways to make it feel a lot fresher, a lot more to sort of catch your interest and make you actually want to see where it's going, make you sort of feel for it, and, you know, not feel like you're just watching them give you something, well, throw something at you that you've seen before and just with a different set of characters. Like, no, this is very distinctly their plot. Yeah, how it happens to them, which I think that's, yeah, this isn't just, yeah, what we have grown to like about this show, I guess. It's back to what it did to win us over in the first place, sort of taking the characters to the next level, and like getting inside their head, showing us, you know, a very important moment of growth in their lifetime, or, well, this period of their lives, whatever. But yeah, while still not trying to, like, in a very sort of deft kind of way either, because, yeah, it doesn't just swing for drama, just, or yeah, how, well, I said the last one with yeah, Pinkie Pie's big crisis that, like, she hears something sad happens to her, and then they have her go off and take the reaction up to 11. Like, oh, why, oh, what, well, just, yeah, in a way I thought was really obvious and sort of clumsy, just sort of thinking, like, okay, how can we pluck the heartstrings? How can this be, like, okay, no, you do, like, because, once again, it weaves it together pretty well. You do feel for Rarity here, but, you know, when it's funny, the way she's reacting, when it's kind of silly on her, they let it be funny and silly and all that. Like, it's a very good mix of the over-the-top and the identifiable here. It knows exactly what tone it wants to set. It knows exactly how it's coming across when it does. It's just really smart, really well done. Because, I mean, yeah, this tangent's lasting a while, but yeah, that's the other thing that we haven't seen the show really do that in a while. I mean, it's had great episodes, like the last one in Keep Calm and Flutter On, despite some clumsiness. They just had really great creativity, really great sight gags, just a lot of fun that, so that in spite of what was a little bit off about them, they were just really fun and had really big personalities in them and everything. And we've had great episodes like Princess Twilight Sparkle and Sleepless in Ponyville that, really just didn't, well, at least, well, in a nutshell, they didn't really drop the ball on like the what the characters were doing. They managed to get something that was also very identifiable and very very clear, very engaging across, and just with lots of characterization in it, like all of the above. But those were sort of more plots with something at stake. Like there was, what was on the line here was a little more on the line there was a little more clear because there was maybe a ticking clock or a somebody under a lot of pressure by somebody else to rise to the challenge. I guess it wasn't just just their problem. Like there was a distinct conflict or a distinct obstacle, I guess I should say, being thrown at them. And this is just sort of back to the day in the life kind of thing. Like Applejack back in Applebuck season, putting all the pressure on herself to harvest an apple field in time, or the sleepover party with also with Rarity and Applejack, that kind of thing, and how they're bickering with each other. Just this is it reminds me again of stuff more like that, where it's just a day in the life, but it really gets into that day in the life. It fills it really full of personality and it feels genuine in ways that you weren't expecting. Like it feels like something really unique and really its own. That and really kind of likable too. Like it reminds me of why I guess I started to get behind these characters. Why I started talking, like saying things like, am I really saying this about My Little Pony? That just they have such great personalities, and I really like watching them. So I'm really interested in where they're going. The multicolored, glittery horses. This kind of reminded me of what the show had to do to get me to start saying that. So, big props there. But the point I was on in the episode, because I looked back through this episode to just see if I could pick out the points to highlight. There were kind of too many. Like, usually there are 3 or 4 of the same kind of gag at most, and it's just like, you point them all out. It's like, that's something you have to look forward to coming into this episode. It's clever about this. But, no, this episode it's sort of just its style. It weaves in a sort of cleverness all the way across. Like, Trenderhoof talking to Applejack, trying to impress her. He's like, see, that's kind of my job. I take the mundane, the everyday, whatever, and the unappreciated, and on unappreciated he points right at Derpy. So, very fun that just, stuff like that. So many different gags, and not even, it doesn't necessarily need them all to suit the same purpose. It just, the extra mile to give us something that's funny, that is in a very clever, fresh sort of way. Like, this episode had me genuinely laughing a lot of the time, and I guess, as it went on, just more examples of that. Trenderhoof starts falling for Applejack, and you see her, we look at her, and she's scuffed up and sweating, bucking apples, but he sees her, and it's like she's this fabulous country girl or whatever, who's just doing stuff with style. And I don't know, or maybe it was just supposed to be that he just likes because all of them are kind of cute in what they do. They're all My Little Pony. That's not the old My Little Pony. I did not think they were cute at all. The old ones just annoy me. These designs, they are pretty cute, just doing what they do. They're drawn that way, but it's like, but definitely, when you're seeing it from his perspective, it's like, no, beyond that, this is his thing, or whatever. But, okay, so, and he's following Applejack around, and I mean, they actually, give him a pretty, they weave him into this really well, how he's actually doing the same thing with Applejack that Rarity's doing with him. He's trying so hard to get her to, connect with him with stuff that, okay, the problem is he's not being genuine. He's what? How many apples do you think there are, Applejack? You mean in Sweet Apple Acres or all of the? Did you know I once had an apple so rare they thought it was extinct, so I ate 4. And Applejack just doesn't know what to make. Like, he's just trying to get her to interact with him so much. And I mean, it's not like he's not being a jerk or anything like that. I mean, where it's not, well, not too obnoxious. Well, it is he's pushing himself on her, and she starts actually trying to sneak around him. But, okay, yeah, I don't know, you feel for him the same way you feel for Rarity, how, yeah, they're both just, kind of making fools of themselves, just trying to get what they want here. But, I mean, and, because of the lesson we need to learn, but, well, okay, no, let me rephrase that. Because, they have not learned it's not, yeah, it isn't fake here, it comes across as very genuine, but, okay, so, and then to Rarity, especially Rarity reinventing herself, that is really, really funny here. It's like the part where she goes home to cry about it, and it's a very Rarity sort of overreaction, but even then the voice actress really gets into the lines, like, how she just sort of says in a straight point, he doesn't like me, twice, and I mean, I don't know, and Spike apparently can't hear her when she says that, and she's not like whispering it to, it's just, again, a very Rarity sort of thing, just in this strange sort of, dramatic, voice, well, not even dramatic, just like this very sad sort of voice in a way that's distinctly Rarity. See, I can't describe it all perfectly, it just, yeah, alright. It's like, one picture is worth 1,000 words, and so is one sequence that is so distinctly its own thing. You just have to watch it for yourself. But, okay, no, the scene is very funny where she finally flips out, oh, Spike, you can't know what it's like to have a crush on somebody else only to feel like they find out they don't like you. And Spike looks right at the camera when she says that, so, okay. All kinds of, just, yeah, all kinds of stuff like that. And then when she first tries to sort of compromise, merge Applejack's persona with her own, invent this sort of glittery country outfit and show how she can be a farmer with style, and then when Trenderhoof barely even notices that, I mean, and this is where even the over-the-top humor works, where he's starts making up a poem with things that rhyme with Rarity. It's like, apples, what is it? Without apples, we would have great disparity, just on, and then finally, the pony of my dreams, or whatever, and yeah, I'm watching this like, oh, guess where this is going? The pony of my dreams! It turns away from Rarity. Applejack! And but yeah, even that, you can see exactly where it's going, and it's just really having fun playing this up, just like how much, how much this kind of sucks for Rarity, and I mean, that's where you really feel for her, but at the same time, I mean, it's funny because she realistically shouldn't have been expecting anything else, but at the same time, it's like, she didn't have a bad reason for wanting this. It's like, oh, come on, you just have to keep piling this on so much, so, okay, just, yeah, funny lines like that, but, okay, then, especially, though, the highlight when she reinvents herself as this hillbilly, and is trying the, country accent, imitating Applejack's accent, and I keep giving the voice actress props, but once again, she really pulled off doing Rarity's voice with, but trying to do an accent that she can't do, so I mean, that is really hard, because you have to change your voice, and then you have to think, how would that voice change again in this situation, but she pulled it off perfectly, but, okay, so, there's that, and where she starts trying to, say things she thinks country farm ponies, I guess, would say. Yes, indeedy doodle. And Applejack is the first one to crack up when Rarity unveils that this is her new plan for the festival, saying it's the most ridiculous thing in her life, and I'm with her, I'm like, yeah, why is Applejack the only one having my reaction? Because, I mean, it's really, because once you hear, she's behind a curtain and she starts announcing it, you hear her voice, you know exactly what she's doing, and I mean, it's already funny, but, okay, then, yeah, how Applejack, and then especially how Applejack finally decides to deal with this. She signs herself up as Apple Jewel to be one of the, to audition to be a model in Rarity's new festival, but of course instead of going with Rarity's new theme, Simple Ways, she throws on the fanciest outfit she can find and starts imitating Rarity. Or not even Rarity, just imitating what you think an overplayed model would be like, where, yeah, the pouty face and the honeybee or the beehive haircut, excuse me, and the shaking the shifting the hips, and yeah, just all of the above, and yeah, going on about, yeah, having the same conversation she just had with Rarity in reverse, like, Applejack, you don't like that. What makes you think so? Because I know you. Well, maybe you don't know me as well as you think. I can almost do Rarity doing Applejack. I cannot do Applejack doing Rarity, but okay, that aside. And when Rarity, okay, she sees what's up, so she just kind of tries to brush her off. She's like, well, if you're gonna start modeling, I make it quick, because I have to get this festival done. So Applejack decides to really let her have it there, just like borrowing a line from Auntie Mame, I think. Life is a banquet, and everyone should celebrate it by looking just like me. Well, yeah, a trend-setting fashionista. This really starts to get under Rarity's skin, and then she starts trying to give it back to Applejack. And, well, actually, what I like about this scene is they don't say exactly what they're trying to do. It comes across as a little bit strange, just they keep doing this, but it's sort of like actions speak louder than words. Like, if you asked them, they probably couldn't say exactly what they were trying to do there, but it's sort of like, okay, Applejack, in a nutshell, she knows this gets under Rarity's skin. She knows that Rarity is totally just pretending to like what she's doing now, so yeah, she knows that she has Rarity's number, basically, by just all these, my hooves are so polished you can see your reflection in them, and Rarity is sort of trying to give it back to her and sort of just trying to cling to that, yeah, this is what I like to do. My hooves are cracked and dry from working in the field, and it just, yeah, back and forth, until finally Applejack says, I smell like roses, and Rarity snaps, I love being covered in mud, and dives in, splashes Applejack's outfit, and of course, because that is a crime against fashion, she starts trying to clean it and starts screaming for somebody to get her a towel to wipe the mud off, and then Applejack puts her leg around it, and there's the Rarity I know and love, or just whatever she said. But, okay, and then Rarity concedes and thanks Applejack for, yeah, putting up with her and for being a really good friend, trying to, yeah, snap her out of it. And yeah, at that very moment, the Trenderhoof guy shows up, and this is where he's woven in pretty well, because, I mean, you know, usually they'd make him just the guy who wasn't good enough to see what's great about Rarity, but, I mean, instead they weave his plot, play his plot off of Rarity's very well, and his character, too. He actually sort of gets his own character, how he's not a bad guy. He's, I mean, he's, yeah, not really doing anything wrong here necessarily. Well, I mean, he's making a mistake, but I mean, he's, yeah, not trying to do, like, wrong by anybody. He's really trying to get Applejack to like him, but he shows up in a pair of overalls saying that he wants to retire from his exciting and exotic life and be a farmer in Ponyville, and Applejack lets him down, like, I hope you weren't thinking of moving on to Sweet Apple Acres, and he looks shot down, and then Applejack sort of tries to let him down nice, but it's awkward, she doesn't have the words, and so Rarity, with what she's just learned, steps in, and you almost think this scene could have come across like she was saying that, yeah, see, I've learned that if you can't appreciate me for who I am, then that's your problem. But no, actually, it comes across as a very sweet sort of thing, as evidence of how Rarity has grown, and as just as a genuine sort of connection between Tenderhoof and her, and not romantically, because they don't go back like, okay, now they can have a romantic connection now that they've learned. It's like, no, but they still sort of connect, like, there's a mutual sort of understanding. Rarity phrasing the moral in a very very effective way says, I think what Applejack's trying to say is that there's something unappealing about someone who would change themselves so much just to impress someone else. And then, okay, if somebody can't appreciate you for who you are, what's special about you, then that's their loss. So, and, you know, he hears that and he gets it. He's just like, looks down, he's like, oh, okay, well, you know, this is awkward, I guess. And she picks him up, because, I mean, she says it's like a very sincere sort of thing on her part, like, because she knows now, obviously, where he's coming from, and kind of what he needs to hear, what will help him be better. And, so yeah, he looks down like, he's kind of apologetic, he's like, you know, well, I guess this is pretty awkward, and, she's like, oh, not at all, I think I know, in fact, exactly how you feel. And so they go back to the first theme, and Rarity, well, of course, now makes a very impressive showing. This is the one who successfully put on the Great Festival. And Trenderhoof, too, he starts to sort of get back on his game, in his element, and because of that come across as more impressive. Like, Applejack and Granny Smith are standing off to the side. He, just to be nice, goes up to Granny Smith and offers her to dance when he could have tried to hit on Applejack one more time. And, you know, or Rarity's on stage, and he throws her a rose just as like a congratulations, job well done. And so, all right, I think this, what can I say here? This one was just really smart, really funny all the way too. It knew how to play this, and it's just very clever, because it feels like you haven't seen exactly this kind of thing before, which, like I said, I mean, it just, such a surprise, because I know I've been, I haven't been quite as nice to season 4 as I was to the first 2 so far. I said, like, even though it kind of has its heart in the right place, it feels like it can't quite summon what it had before. This time, it did. It went out like it was no problem, just all the way through. A very clever, very deft sort of delivery, and, well, bravo. So, okay, big surprise. But, alright, and the next one is Philly Vanilli, so, take care, see you there.